Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate everybody stopping by. If you don't mind me asking, if you do mind, I'm still going to ask. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below on what you think of the content here, or if you have any questions at all about what I cover. I do get back to any and all comments just as soon as I possibly can. Um, so today, tonight's video is kind of the week in review. Um, you know, how did I do? How did I do in my trading? What kind of results did we have? What did the markets do? Um, I'll go into more in-depth market reviews later on in the weekend and get those posted up as well. Um, so, yeah. Um, Now, the performance that you're going to see, I live trade every morning, starting around 9 o'clock, trying to get better at being on right at 9 o'clock. Um, and we'll get that taken care of. But you can watch my live trading anytime you want. I also store those here on YouTube. The video is on one side or the other here. Um, and you can check out my live trading videos, or just come on by and stop in while we're live and watch me trade. So let's get into the week, shall we? See how we did. I haven't memorized my Stream Deck buttons, so yes, I have to look away to get that set up. So the daily chart, pretty crazy price action uh, the last couple of weeks. Um, so pretty much the only thing I have on my charts, we'll get rid of this box real quick. The only thing I have on my charts on larger time frames are my moving averages um, and VWAP. Okay, the 200, the 21, and the 9 moving averages, and then I have this dealing range. Okay, if you don't know what dealing range theory is, I think I have a video on that if you search in my channel, dealing range theory. If not, I am going to do a little bit more in-depth one to explain to people why I have this on there, but you'll see why when we get to a little bit lower time frames. And we're just going to do a real quick review um, of a couple of things, and then we'll get into the numbers for the week on the trading. So the 4 hour time frame is where I draw my dealing range at. And what I'm looking for there is a swing low being taken out on the 4 hour and then immediately going and taking out a previous swing high, right? So we took out this high, basically these equal highs here. So my dealing range starts, and with every swing high that's created on the 4 hour chart, I continue to move my dealing range up until we get our pullback and go sell side on the market maker model. Okay, this is dealing range theory is an ICT concept, and it's one of the few concepts that I put into my trading because it works. Okay, you can look at this once we got to the top and had our pullback. You can see where these quadrants, 25, 50, 75% quadrants, really took effect, right? Um, you can see some of these swing highs and lows, some of the consolidations, um, very much acting as support and or then resistance um, at those levels, right? So today was a really nice trading day. Unfortunately, I missed the biggest move of the day, which was the move back up, but we did come and swipe that low. Now, this dealing range is still in effect because it is possible we go buy side from here, okay? But until we actually close this low, this dealing range is still in effect, okay? On the way down on the sell side of this model, we have taken out swing highs, right? Um, and then gone and taken swing lows. So you could argue that we do have a dealing range here, and we do. You could actually draw that out and combine it with the buy side dealing range and see if anything matches up. But I'm still concerned with this dealing range, okay? Until we close outside one or the other, the high or the low, okay? Um, and interestingly enough, um, looking at the daily time frame, we basically made a double bottom here uh, at this level, but we still have some of this fair value gap that has not been filled, right? So just because we had a 600 point move to the upside off the low, I would not get too jumpy about um, just starting to look for longs. Um, we literally could roll back over and come and rebalance this daily fair value gap. It is the only inefficiency left in this area. Okay, so there is nothing saying that we're going to get back above the daily 21 and just stay there. From time to time, the market does want to pull back to the daily 200. Okay, and we have not done that in quite some time, not since August. Um, August 1st did we hit the daily 200 after bouncing back above it and retesting, right? We did have a nice pullback here when the tariff stuff started, and then we've gone back up and bounced. So, there is nothing saying that we can't come down a little bit lower to close in that imbalance before going back up, okay? Um, unless we just get some really, really bad news and dump all the way back down to the 200. But at the moment, the 200, after all of the stuff in April and March, I think this was actually the tariff stuff. Um, we have bounced back up, and we had a flat 200 there for a little bit because of that big dip. Um, but then once we're back above it, the 200 is now moving into an upward position. Um, do we do we hold that upward position? Well, I think, all the earnings so far say we do. We're starting to get rate cuts, things like that. So, yes, I think we will continue higher in the markets um, without coming down to the daily 200. But I would like to see this inefficiency closed in completely, okay, before we head back up. Doesn't mean we have to. Um, we could go up from here, absolutely. But I'm just going to keep my eyes on that dealing range. So let's get to the weekly performance. We started the week off with, um, I think it was one or two evaluations and um, one uh, Ignite instant funded account. These are all top one accounts. These are all the accounts that I have right now. Um, And the first day, I didn't even trade the instant funded account. I had one 50K evaluation that was in some pretty severe drawdown. Um, the second one, I started off going into drawdown on, and then I eventually picked up three others, okay, um, along with the instant funded. And today, I just purchased another instant funded. So now I have five accounts going with top one futures. Okay. So I did not trade the new instant funded account. It is sitting at a $50,000 balance. Okay. This is the one that was in pretty severe drawdown. We are pulling that back up. We still have a little ways to go there. And this one is going to renew on November 24th. Okay. So this one we're going to have to start getting a little aggressive with. Okay. Um, and just like I said, we're just going to have to get aggressive because we're going to need to get this thing back above 50,000 and into $1,000 or $2,000 worth of profit to justify rebilling it instead of just getting it blown and having the rebills reset us at 50,000, right? So we still need to make up about $1,150 to get it to 50,000 and then get it in some profit, right? Um, or we may just blow it and drop it altogether. I don't really need all 5 accounts, um, especially with 2 of them being instant funded accounts at this point. So we'll work on that when we get to that point. But it's going to have to happen in the next week or two to get that going. Okay. Um, so this uh, instant funded account, the Ignite, um, this one we started off the week. We had uh, a couple of winning days, and then we had a losing day that took away pretty much all of our profits there. But then we got a couple of winning days back up. So we are in profit on that one. This one, we've done nothing but make profit in it since we started trading it. And this one, same as the funded, um, you know, we started off with a couple of small wins, took a loss, and then came back and got it into profit for the end of the week. So all in all, really satisfied with the trading this week. Um, and uh, we're just going to continue moving forward on these. Um, we're going to be copy trading the instant funded together, and we will be copy trading the um, growth challenges or the elite challenges uh, together as well. But in the trade copier, I'm going to set this one for probably twice the amount of contracts so that we can gain more profits on that and try to get it back up. Um, so all of these accounts utilize Project X platform, which I'm very, very happy with. I like it. Love, love, love the risk settings. And I have mine set uh, to where, if I lose more than 500 in a day or lose 500, it will liquidate my position and block me from trading for the rest of the day. I am actually going to move this a little bit further up to $400 a day, um, or a little less, I should say, to $400 a day. With a $2,000 drawdown, that gives me 5 days. I would have to lose $400 a day 5 days in a row to blow this account. And for me, that's just typically not going to happen, okay? Unless I just get really stupid. But this keeps me from getting stupid, okay? Sometime within that 5 days, I'm going to get it through my thick skull that you're not doing something right. Um, my personal daily profit target, um, it needs to be, well, I'm going to leave it at 1500. Um, actually, no, this is my challenge account. Yeah, I'm going to leave that at 1500. My risk per trade is 125. My profit, I need to move up to 1000 just in case. There is no um, uh, small consistency rule on this. I think it's 30%. May even be 50%. I'm not 100% sure on the consistency rule on the challenges, but I know it's not less than 30%. So if I made $1,000 a day, it would only take me 3 days to pass. But we don't trade that aggressively, so typically won't make that much. But I would need to move this up because of the one that I do need to get aggressive on and trade, 2 to 3 times the amount of contracts that I'm trading in the other two to try to get that built back up. Um, so that we're going to save the changes on that. This is going to stay the same. Uh, we just move our daily loss limit to 400 instead of 500, reduce that a little bit. Now, on the Ignite instant funded accounts, um, this daily profit needs to be at 275. Okay. There is a 15% consistency rule on these Ignite accounts. Yes, that is a very tight consistency rule, but it's fine. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm not in a rush to make money in these. Look, folks, I've been that trader that, I want to make $1,000, $1,500 a day, right? It's very hard, very, very hard to consistently do that. Okay. And when you're trying to make that much money, you're also risking more money because you typically have to size up uh, your trades to be able to do that. So I've learned my lesson, and I want to take it just nice and slow. Get those base hits for $100, $200 a trade, and get out of the market and look for the next good setup. I have a good trading plan. I'm able to have multiple opportunities per day to take a trade. So I don't need to rush myself. I can wait for the good setups and take those when they come. But I do actually, I'm going to move that to 300. I can make 300 a day and stay within the 15% consistency rule, um, because 300 of $3,000 is uh, 10%. Okay, so I'm okay with that. If I made $300 in a day, that's enough. I need to call it a day anyway. Okay. Um, Again, here I want to move this to no more than 400, 375. Okay, so that gives me at 375 at risking $125 per trade. That gives me three trades a day. If I lose three in a row, or then I need to stop trading because I'm not reading the markets well. Okay, so that's just all there is to that. And again, daily profit target on these accounts needs to be no more than $300. And when we hit that, we need to liquidate and block us out for the rest of the day. Okay. Um, and typically, I'm not risking a full $125 per trade, right? I may, instead of entering with 5 micros, which I typically do, which gives me a 50-point stop loss for $125 loss. Typically, I'm entering with 2 to 3 micros and then looking for a place to add to my trade once it starts moving in my favor. So uh, the risk usually is less than $125, but that's my maximum risk per trade. If I decide to go in on an A++ setup, I'm going to go in with 5 micros and I'm going to have a 50-point stop loss. I trade the YM or NQ, and those, you need that range. Obviously, my stop on NQs has to be lower than that, but there it is. So we're just going to save those settings and get ready for next week with those settings, and uh, need to copy trade those. So let's go to copy trading, um, and oh, right now I have this trading my three um, my three dum 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 yeah uh, evaluation accounts. So um, what I need to do is open up a new window, okay, and come over to my Ignite funded. Okay, all of this is going to remain the same. I'm not sure if this is going to change the other window or not. Um, it probably is. I don't think there's any way to set up two different um, copy traders here. So I have to choose between, um, I have to choose between trading the evals or, um, let's see, this is oh, oh, 181 we can do, 181. Um, where is it? What the hell? 068 9068 or 181. Why is 181 paused? Okay, no, I can't. So I can't choose that. No, it's just not down here. Or maybe it's 151. Eh? Okay, so none of these can be followers. Um, 068. Clear. 068. Okay, so I'm not sure why that one is paused. Let me go here. I don't know why that one is paused. Hmm. I'll have to look into that and see what the deal is. Um, but anyway, so we'll be copy trading the funded accounts together and then the evals together come next week. So um, absolutely love the Project X platform. The risk settings are fantastic. I know Tradeovate now has risk settings because of Tradeovate Prop, and you can pretty much do the same thing there. Um, Hell, people are kind of banging on Project X at the moment because of the outage they had, but that was not a Project X outage. That was an Amazon Web Services outage that affected the TopStep X platform. Um, other than that, I've never had a problem with Project X. So I am now exclusively a top one trader. I really like the firm. I like the rules. I like how fast they pay out. Um, and cost wise, I mean, you can't beat it. Right now, these Ignite 50K funded accounts, now they do have some drawbacks, as far as the consistency rule being tighter and the max payout starting at $1,000. And that scales up with your payouts, the number of payouts you take. But the first one is a max of $1,000. But the upside to this, everyone, if you just can't afford those straight to funded accounts that you're seeing for $350, $400 and up, um, these Ignite accounts are $179. I will leave a link down in the description, um, and they are $179 right now. And today, I think, is the last day. They said they end this week. When I say end, I'm not talking about the discount ending. They are going to be taken off the menu. You will not be able to purchase them anymore unless they decide to bring them back at some point. They did have them for a little while. They changed the rules on them a little bit um, and brought them back for a little while, but they are saying that they're going away. So this either tonight or this weekend will be the last day. So I would definitely get over there and purchase these Ignite accounts if you have the opportunity to do so. But I will leave a link down in the description. Um, I am affiliated with Top One just for complete transparency, and I do stand to make money if you use my link to go and purchase an account. Do your own research. Me personally, I absolutely love the fact that I can get a straight to funded account for less than what I could get an evaluation for and then have to pay an activation fee. Okay, so all in all, typically that's around $200 or more um, to get a 50K evaluation. Then once you pass it, have to pay the activation fee, typically around $200 or more, depending on the firm you're with. And with Top One right now, you can get an instant funded 50K account for $179. Make sure you read the rules on the payouts and the consistency rules and all of that. Make sure you do your research. But to me, right now, there is no better deal in the prop firm industry on instant funded accounts where you can start drawing out money. If I can turn 179 into 1,000, my ROI there is fantastic. And then just keep trading it and take more and more payouts and get those scaled up so I can take more and more money. So check out the description in the link below. I would appreciate it if you'd use my link to get that discount and help out this channel. Um, so I'm going to call it a night there, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by and taking a look. I'm looking forward to next week to build those counts a little bit further and get ourselves closer to a payout. So until next time, stay blessed.